let's take a look at my signed programmes and other such stuff. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to the latest video looking at my collection, and in this case it's my autograph collection. I was going to be doing my signed books next, but since I've just sorted all these out, I might as well do these. These are my signed programmes, mostly theatre, some sport, and there's also some other paper goods in here, so some signed scripts, a magazine, one comic. I've got comics signed by comic book artists and writers, sort of separate, but this one I've stuck in here, and you'll see why, and it'll be the first one up. This will probably be over 2 or 3 videos depending on how long it takes me, but let's get cracking. Oh, as you've probably heard, I've got myself a new mic, so the sound quality is a lot better, hopefully, than it used to be, so I hope that's a positive move. Anyway, as I was saying, let's get straight on. So first up is this Torchwood comic, which is signed by John Barrowman and his sister Carol, who wrote this. This was a purchase through Forbidden Planet. Then we have onto some football programmes now. So this is a programme, I think these are all Spurs programmes, Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. These were all obtained for me. I used to work with a lady who was the aunt of the Tottenham player David Howells, and because I support Tottenham, she very graciously, whenever she went, because she was in the players lounge area, managed to get me some signed programmes. So this is Tottenham versus Man City, October 1991, and this is signed by, I did have notes in them, yes I have. So that is Paul Stewart, who played for Spurs for a long time, and that way up is Gary Lineker, so who I'm sure most of you are aware of, certainly people in the UK should all know who he is. Former footballer, come TV presenter, come crisp salesman. Okay, next we have a programme for the Cyril Knowles Memorial Match. It's a testimonial played after his death. I actually went to this game, but again, Liz got me this signed. So it was a really good day. It was the Spurs 70-71 squad against the Arsenal 70-71 squad, and then following that, Spurs 81-82, which is my favourite Spurs team, against Spurs 90-91, and it was a really good match. But this was signed by, let's check my list. Okay, so that one is Steve Perryman, who was Spurs captain in the early 80s. Unfortunately he wasn't fit to play in the match. That's Paul Stewart again, and that is Paul Gascoigne, Gazza, again, who wasn't fit to play for the Spurs 1991 team, unfortunately. But this, it was in November 1991 that match was played. Next we have, so as I say, Liz was the aunt of David Howells, the Spurs defender. His brother Gareth Howells was also on Spurs' books for a long time. He was a goalkeeper, and then he went and he played for a few teams, most notably Torquay United. Liz got me a programme signed by the pair of them, but because my favourite player ever was Glenn Hoddle, they actually fished out an old programme from 1984 that had Glenn on the cover and got him to sign that for me. So at the top it's to Martin, best wishes Gareth Howells, and to Martin, good luck David Howells. Did actually meet David. He was coming back from injury and he played for Tottenham reserves at Portsmouth, and we went and watched it, and went round with Liz to the wherever players came out and when we were waiting for their coach. We had a little chat. Very nice man. This is programmed for Spurs versus West Ham United on April the 4th, 1994. And I've got my cheat sheet in this one. Yep. There we go. Okay, so we've got Colin Calderwood, Nick Barmby, and Jason Cundy. So again, these would have all been players who weren't fit to play, so we were in the Players' Lounge. This is the programme for David Howell's testimonial match, which unfortunately hasn't been signed by David, but did get quite a few. It was a match against Fiorentina on the 2nd of August 1997. And I've got a crib sheet on this one. Don't think I have. No. Okay. And I can't. That's Dean Austin there. I recognise that one. And I'm drawing blanks on the others. It's annoying. Thanks. Probably why I haven't got a cheat sheet in there, because I couldn't recognise any of the others. A lot of the time Liz couldn't remember who she got to sign them, because it was just a case of grabbing people as and when she could. A couple more of these. This is Spurs against... Am I going blind? Liverpool on Saturday, March 14th, 1998. And I definitely saw it sticking out. This one's quite faint. Maybe I haven't. Signed in the middle there. Yeah, you can just about make that out. Is this Rule Fox? I know one of them was signed by Rule Fox. That might be Rule Fox. And then the last one, this has definitely got a cheat sheet because I can see it sticking out. This is Spurs against Sunderland, December the 8th, 1990. Oop, throw that away. And, oh yeah, that's Paul Stewart yet again. That's Paul Walsh. And that one I've never been able to identify. Paul Walsh did actually play in that one, but as did Paul Stewart. So I think she must have got those after the match when she was chatting with David. Unless they were substituted and went up there early. Probably not. So that's for football programmes. Okay. Next up is a signed script. A TV show called The Priory, which was on Channel 4 in, when we got, year 2000. It reunited Zoe Ball and Jamie Theakston after Live and Kicking. It was a bit TFI-ish, that sort of type of show, you sort of chat and music. And they had a competition each week. I think you had to email in. It was obviously quite early in the days of email. And you could win a signed script, and one week that aired on Tuesday the 23rd of May 2000 I won, and the programme was signed by Davina McCall, who was one of the guests, and then Bentley Rhythm Ace, the band, Richard from Bentley Rhythm X there, and I think one of the other ones is Bentley Rhythm X. And then the other guests were... Or were they... I'm having a moment now. Oh, I think they're all Bentley Rhythm X. But Kermit, who was in Black Grape, he guested with them, if memory serves. And that's his signature down the bottom. A little proof that it's real. So it was made by Ginger Productions, Chris Evans' production company. So it was very much in the mode of TFI. The other guest on that was Matthew McConaughey. So I'm gutted that he didn't sign it. And I would have liked it if Zoe and Jamie had signed it as well. But never mind. Very nice. Obviously didn't cost me anything. This is a recent one I've shown on another video. I went to see Danny Baker live at Southampton Guildhall, and they were selling signed programmes, each one personalised, well not personalised, dedicated, with a inscribed, that's the word I'm looking for, with a different message relating to an album in his collection. And he did 50 each night, and I got in nice and early to be able to grab one. And this one was inscribed, "Tonight's going to vibe the old Instant Karma, shine on, Danny Baker." So Instant Karma, the John Lennon album. This is a programme I got signed in person. Went to see Flare Path, which is a play by Mind's Gone Blank as to his Terence Rattigan, at the Theatre Royal Haymarket. That was a play. So I went to see that. Got the year in here, 2000 and does it say? No, it doesn't say. Guessing 2012 maybe. And stage doored afterwards. Quite regularly, most years I will go up to London for a few days, see some shows and try and get some autographs afterwards. I haven't gone this year actually because there's nothing really. There's a couple of odd plays I wanted to see, but no sort of batch of them on at the same time, unfortunately. But yes, stage doored this, really good play, and managed to get Sienna Miller, who was gorgeous, James Purefoy, who was very nice, the lovely Sheridan Smith, who we will talk about later. I've now met her 3 times, and also Joe Armstrong, who was quiet but very nice. But yeah, really good play that was. Loads of paparazzi there because of Sienna Miller. But unfortunately no photos of me, which in other cases there has been. For instance, I think this was the day before I went to see The Children's Hour at the Comedy Theatre. And this was with Flare Path. It was just sort of hanging around at the stage door. There's maybe half a dozen of us there. You were just stood on the, it backs out onto a street, and we were just sort of stood in the street waiting with Children's Hour, with Keira Knightley in. It was all behind barriers. Anybody who had been to see the play got ushered to the front, and then people who were just there for autographs, mainly dealers, were sort of could come through after us. But yeah, again another very good play. I don't think there's a play that I've seen that I've not enjoyed. 2011, there we go. March time I think it was that I went, but managed to get this signed by, that's a version of Keira's Scriggle. That's Oscar winner Ellen Burstyn, and that is Elizabeth Moss, who is now a lot more famous than she was then. And that is Tobias Menzies, who at the time I knew having been in a Bond, but is now been in Game of Thrones amongst other things. There was paparazzi there as well, obviously, and there's actually a few shots of me stalking Keira. I shall add them on here. I think this was the same visit. Went to see Season's Greetings at the National Theatre, which is an Alan Ayckbourn play. Very funny. Set around Christmas, obviously, Season's Greetings. And trying to see if it's got dates here. Tell me if it was the same time. Yes, it was. Yeah, it was so popular. It was started just before Christmas, and it was still going. As I say, I think it was in March, even though it's a Christmas themed one. But a great cast, as you can see, and I managed to get signatures from a lot of them. Let's get the first one. So, Catherine Tate, who is very quiet. Oliver Chris, who is brilliant, particularly in Green Wing, but he's a very good comic actor and a nice chap as well. I've actually met him twice. You'll see him on another one. Wanted Nicola Walker, but she never came out stage door. Neither did Mark Wootton. Mark Gatiss, who obviously I was thrilled to meet due to my love of A League of Gentlemen. He was sort of mobbed because it was lots of Doctor Who fans there waiting for him as well. And I think, yes, Sherlock had started then as well. David Troughton, son of Patrick, who again was very nice. And Catherine Parkinson, probably best known for the IT Crowd, who was quiet, but actually I think that's her. That's the correct way round for her signature. It was quiet but pleasant enough. I think that was all I managed to get. Yeah, Neil Stuke didn't come out either. But Mark and Catherine were my main targets. Catherine Tate, although Catherine Parkinson as well. But yeah, that was very good. The same trip I went to see... I think it was the same trip. Yes, I went to see Frankenstein with Benedict Cumberbatch and Tommy. Brain's gone dead. Tommy is in Trainspotting. It'll be up here. And Naomi Harris. Waited for stage door for ages after that, sort of hour and a half, and finally word got out that Benedict wasn't coming out. The others had exited another way anyway, and apparently Benedict had guests in and wouldn't be coming out, so never got to meet him then. Have met him subsequently. How are we doing? Yeah, a few more. This was an eBay purchase. This is a programme for Prince's Diamonds and Pearls tour from 1991, which was the first tour I actually saw him on, so I've got an unadulterated version of this as well. But this was signed by most of the New Power Generation, his backing band. So we have got Tony M, Levi Caesar Jr., Tommy Barbarella, Diamond, one of the dancers, Diamond and Pearl, Kirky J, and Damon D. So I don't think I paid much for that, but I'm pretty certain they're not sort of signatures you would fake. So yeah, I think it was about a tenner, something silly like that. So really pleased to have got that. This was another eBay purchase. This is a programme from the early 80s for One for Your Wife at the Criterion Theatre. 81. I was looking at this when I was sorting this. 85. Really good cast. But whoever got it only got the 4 leads to sign, but they were excellent ones. Bernard Cribbins, Jeffrey Holland, Bernard Breslaw, and Linda Hayden. Again, that wasn't much at all, and I mean the Bernard one's definitely authentic compared to in-person ones from him, so I have no reason to doubt the others. Again, it's not the sort of thing you'd fake on those. This was an eBay purchase. I think I bought it in 94, but as you can see it's a programme for Wimbledon 93. This is for the, I think, yeah, this is the Ladies Championship programme. I presume they still do have separate ladies and men's ones. They included their ticket from the day and their couple of stickers that they were given, so I'm pretty certain it's authentic. This is signed by Helena Sukova, and let's find it. Oh, it's on our page, isn't it? Steffi Graf. Again, I didn't pay a lot of money for that. Possibly 30 quid, but I mean, you know, it's a nice thing to have, especially with Steffi on it. Okay, where are we going? I'll do one more. This is another eBay purchase. This is a script for the radio show The Rapid Eye Movement, episode 1. This was bought, although he doesn't use, well, I don't know if he still does it, but although he didn't use his name as a username, I believe this was actually bought directly from Michael Fenton Stevens, one of the cast members, who I'll put a picture up here because I'm sure you'll recognise him because he's done so much stuff. But I'm aware that lots of stuff was sold from this seller, and the common link was that Michael was in them all. So if it wasn't him, it was somebody directly related to him. But yes, this, he got signed by the cast. So that's Martin Freeman, with a very different signature to his later years. This was 2002, so I think he'd done The Office or was in the middle of The Office, but he wasn't huge yet. Tracy Ann Oberman. Don't know whose signature that is because it's signed by somebody who had yet to be cast at the time this was printed. Martin Hyder, Michael Fenton Stevens himself, Beth Chalmers, and Carl Minns, who also wrote it. I can't remember. It's possible that I worked out who that is, in which case I'll up here. So that's the first batch of those. Part 2 will be up in a week or so probably, but in the meantime, subscribe if you want to see more of these, like, comment, do all that sort of stuff, and I'll see you in a video. Bye.